Cool. Morning all. Absolute honour to be here today hosting a panel about building resilience to avoid burnout. Real estate, luckily through the eXp model, gives us a business and a lifestyle where we can be free. Time, financial, and also location. But real estate can also take that all away. It can take your finances, it can take your mental health, it can take your relationships, it can take your time. And we're going to be having an honest conversation about all of that today. First of all, introductions, brief real estate career and your eXp business. Joe Rilet.
Hi, I'm Joe Rilet. I am from Watford in Royal Hertfordshire. I was 15 years sort of high street estate agent, and then eXp coming up to about 7 years now. So people call me one of the OGs, one of those people that followed that lone nut and started dancing like an idiot nearly 7 years ago. I am a low volume agent by design, and you'll probably hear about why that is. But yeah, 20 years now.
Awesome. Chris?
Yeah, thanks. So I've been an estate agent for over 20 years, but on the panel today, I'm linking that with the mental health or mental fitness experience that I've got working with a charity called Head in the Game. And I've been going into places like the Royal Opera House and Premier League football teams.
Hi, so I'm Lexi and I'm from Cambridgeshire. Got into estate agency at 19, did the whole corporate malarkey, and then went self-employed 5 years ago, 3 years with eXp.
Amazing. Annie?
So I've been in the industry for 10 years now, started in corporate, then went self-employed with Yopa, and then self-employed with eXp in 2022.
Amazing. And my name's James Hughes, a corporate agent for 8 years, lettings. I joined eXp 4 years ago, 2 times Icon. I won Agent of the Year last year, and I'm also the co-founder of the Org, which is our revenue share group within eXp. Joe, over to yourself. Describe your business and your lifestyle prior to joining eXp.
You were going to ask me that. So as I said, I was a high street agent and worked up from junior negotiator. Quite late, I was a police officer, and then I went into estate agency at 27, and then just quickly went from junior negotiator up to branch manager, and had a couple of children, and there was something going on with me that I didn't realise, and it all came out pretty quickly, and hit burnout, and that manifested itself in extreme anxiety, panic attacks, lots of random crying. I had no idea what was going on, and eventually I decided to quit the job I'd been in 15 years, and I just wanted to get out of the whole thing. I didn't want to do it anymore, but I decided then go try another estate agency, and the first one I was 120 miles an hour, and that was the problem. I was the yes man in that company. I was the one doing everything, and I went somewhere else, and that was 20 miles an hour. They were completely different. So I quickly realised I needed to find my own speed, and yeah, but I was pretty much on the edge. I'm quite happy to say eXp then saved my life, meeting Adam, and I don't work that hard now because I used to. I don't want to anymore. Now I kind of work. If you imagine people work part-time, some people work full-time. I call myself sort of working half-time. I've got 4 young kids, so I'm a dad first now and a estate agent second. Used to be the other way around. And I work at my sort of steady pace, and I look after myself now.
Cool.
I'm really aware of how I work, and I think we're going to go on.
Yeah, we'll comment on that later on.
It's going to cope with that.
So. My first year was exceptionally hard at eXp. The year before eXp, I was married. My wife at the time lost our daughter, stillborn at 7 months, so very hard first year. I had delayed grief. I was then in court. I was going through a very messy and financial divorce. We had the Liz Truss situation. My pipeline of 30k went down to 10k. So I only sold 2 homes my first year. Broken man emotionally and financially. But I was not following any processes or systems in my business, which we'll come on to later on. Annie, over to yourself now. Give us some more information about your business, your volume, the instructions, how many deals you're progressing, and how you're coping.
Not coping, in all honesty. Well, but things are better now since I've grown my team. I had no plans to be a volume agent. It just sort of happened. The first year of the business was really difficult. I think I only had about 8 instructions in 6 months, so it was slow. The second year went crazy, really. It's really, really busy. And then I capped and hit teams quite quickly. At the moment, I'm dealing with about 90 properties, I think. I actually don't even know.
That was 90, not 19, 90. That is insane. Why? Why are you dealing with that sort of volume, and how?
It's just snowballed, which I'm so grateful for. I mean, look, I 7 days a week, long days, but I realize I can't do it by myself.
What does a typical day look like? You wake up, run us through your typical day, at the moment handling 90 instructions.
I mean, I wake up, I work until I go to sleep.
And we'll come on
It's not
to
healthy.
your life balance later on. But you're now at the stage where you're now starting to grow and scale, aren't you?
Yes, so in the last month, I've taken on 4 people. So
Amazing.
It's almost grown overnight. It's gone from just me to now 5 of us, which is
Great. We'll come on to that. Lexi, you're probably a bit more further along. So can you now give us a snapshot about your business and at what point you started to notice the signs to kind of grow and scale as well?
Yeah, sure. So I'm nowhere near as high volume as Annie, but I also started wanting to be like Joe. Low volume by design, got young kids, wanted to spend time with them as well, but it does sort of snowball after a while. And I had told myself I can comfortably manage 20 properties. And then back end of 2025, I kept getting people call me, Lexi, please put my house on the market. And I'd say to them, don't list on the 1st of December, let's go with the Boxing Day launch. And that conversation happened again and again, and then it all backed up and it got to the point where I had 20 live and 20 in pre-market. And I thought, I can't handle this. So I desperately grasped for some help. Luckily, I landed on my feet because I managed to find someone who was incredible at helping. She is my right arm and I couldn't live without her anymore. But genuinely, if I hadn't have had that, I think I would have burnt my business out entirely. And I left it to luck that I found it. So I should have planned ahead, really.
And what were the red flags that you were seeing in your business? What was it that you thought, I need some help quite quickly? How was it impacting you?
I think I got to notice that I was getting to the point of past my capabilities when the phone would ring. I'd see a vendor's name pop up and I thought, oh, I've been ignoring them and I know they're calling me for feedback and I haven't had the chance to do it because I am chasing my tail, I'm putting out fires, I am not being as proactive as I used to be. I'd just taken on too much that I was drowning in just getting through the admin side of things. And then by being able to take somebody on and say, right, we can share this now, these are the things you can help me with, these are the things I need help with, then the fires started to go down. And then I stopped flinching at the phone call from that vendor because I knew that actually they were calling because they were really happy about the new viewings that they've had. And it definitely felt a lot more comfortable.
Amazing. We'll come on to leverage a bit later on. Chris, can I bring you in now? Mental fitness, what is that? What does that mean? And how can agents get it into their business to impact it?
So what I want you to all think about right now is if I asked you all to think about mental health, I guarantee most of you would come up with negative connotations, it's fair to say. I see a few nodding heads. I want you to think about it as mental fitness. When we think about our physical fitness, if we want to get in shape, let's say we want to lose some weight, we might want to go do a run like we did this morning and be fitter. These things, we'll go to the gym, we'll work out, we'll do these physical exercises, we'll change our diet. Our mental fitness is no different. And as estate agents, and I'm going to come on to later about identifying the mental fitness side of things, but at the moment, I want you to think about just that side of it and changing that mentality. So we keep our physical fitness topped up, we should be keeping our mental fitness topped up in the same way, if that makes sense. We've talked about how some inspiration we take from America and how they do things. And this is something that they do really, really well. And I think we could learn a lot from that. And I'll come on to
Cool.
more of that later.
Now talking about leverage. So what is the solution? How can we help grow? How can we scale? Annie, you mentioned you've now got 5 team members. What leverage or systems are you putting in place for your business and also for them to give you some time back and also to help you scale?
Just relinquishing some control, which is hard to do when it's your baby, and it's hard to give that to other people. But I'm learning now that I have to, otherwise I will not be mentally fit. So it's spending time with those, training them, and just allowing myself to sort of release that and not hold it so
Nice. And question for both of you, do you have anything else in place? For example, virtual assistant, sales progressives, like how are you freeing up some time to maintain that you keep your service levels high, but what do you have in place in your businesses to kind of give you leverage?
So I'm definitely going to be getting a separate sales progressor just to free up more of Jade's time, because I very quickly filled her diary as well. Listings still come, so we still need to have other things in place to manage the day-to-day stuff. So having I'm thinking about getting another assistant for admin-based, whether that would be virtual or in person, I'm not sure. I do always like the person touch. And then a dedicated sales progressor, so that then both me and Jade have more time for the day-to-day stuff.
Yeah, nice. I mean, leverage is so important. I think you have to look at your hourly rate, calculate your hourly rate, and then anything below that, try and pass that on. In my second year, I sold 29 homes, third year, 54, fourth year, 65. That was by getting systems and leverage in place. I used to have 2 virtual assistants prior to e-signing. It's your assistant would send out the terms, the ID, the property descriptions. Obviously now e-signing has helped that, because I'm now building the group of the organisation. My sister, my executive assistant, she handles all of that, the events, organising all that stuff. So be strict on your time, get leverage in place. This also comes down to sales progression as well. There's so many in the room, typically 2.7, 3.25 on completion. When I was trying to do it myself, I was overwhelmed. My service levels were dropping. So it actually gives you more security. It keeps the deal in bed, and it allows you to focus on your IGAs, the income generating activities. I now have an organisation, 170 people in that organisation. I have complete leverage. This hit me when I went to eXp Miami for the first time 2 years ago. I was on the beach at the eXp con. I agreed 8 deals, not me personally, but my very good agents, my partner agents who I was collaborating with, get an instruction on, agree the split 50-50, 75-25, build their business. So that's when I realized, Christ, if you actually let go more with a good partner agent, they're going to maintain your service levels. I have so many people who are, I don't want to say they're better than me, but luckily they are very good agents. And any time I give them a listing, they come back, James, I've got another listing. And so if you can let go more, your productivity is only going to increase as well. Chris, bringing you kind of back in. Chris, bringing kind of, I think you mentioned that you want to kind of talk more about mental fitness later on. Do you want to kind of come back in now?
Yeah, certainly. So there are 2 tools that I coach and teach to people all over the South at the moment. And one of them is identifying where we are in our mental fitness. We use something called starting 11. 11 being I'm on top of the world, I feel fantastic. 1, I'm at crisis point, I'm really low. And obviously towards the bottom end of that scale, that's when burnout can really come into it. But just being able to identify that is really powerful. Being able to say to yourself, right, today, right now, our days are insanely crazy. With the sales progression, with viewing feedback, all of these things that we've got going on. When do we in the day just take 30 seconds to go, right, where am I at? I'm a 5. Now 5 is a little bit on the lower side of things. What can I do to get myself to a 6? And then identifying how we feel about that. We've talked about as well, ring fencing some time. There's something called me time, which is the second tool. Now this is something that you enjoy, that is for you, to keep yourself topped up. I'm sure you all know the saying, keeping yourself topped up or fitting your own air mask on a plane before somebody else's, and that's so true. We're more productive as estate agents, and we're better at what we do when our mental fitness is topped up, if that makes sense.
And we'll come on to that now. So luckily we have complete freedom to never miss your kids' sports day, to do the nursery runs, to extend your 1-week holiday to a 4-week holiday. You don't have to email HR. We are so free. But on the flip side, it also means that we never really stop working. So how does our businesses impact our personal and also our relationships with our partners? Over to yourself, Lexi.
Hugely, in all honesty. I know that when I was in pretty much the burnout stage, and we still have days where I think, God, what am I doing? I need more. But I noticed that it was weighing really heavily on my husband, because he does have to listen to every single detail of every single chain that falls through, or this difficult buyer, and every survey. And I think it's quite easy to overlook the weight of how that actually reflects on your family when you are incredibly stressed and you snap at your kids. You don't mean to, but they don't deserve that. They deserve the parent that is present and always thinks about the whole picture. It's not just work, it's what's important to them too. And I think when I started to get to the point where I was just dealing with too much and I did get help, I decided I was going to have one day every week. I will not categorically work. I will not pick up my phone on a Thursday. My Thursdays are for me and my toddler. He doesn't go to nursery. We spend the day together. We usually make a plan, whether it's just something simple like the park or a soft play. It doesn't matter because that time is so precious. And then I keep Sundays just for emergency stuff. If somebody calls me up and they want to view a house, but they're not on the market, then they can do another day. And it got a long time before I felt brave enough to turn things away. But when they want something from you, they will come back. And if you don't protect your time, or if you answer the phone at 9 o'clock at night, they will ring again at 9 o'clock at night. And they just will take your time for advantage, and then you end up burning out.
Do you want to say something, Joe?
I was going to say, linked to Chris's thing, I think my mental fitness was a 2, and now it's probably an 8, or 7.5 stroke 8. And you have to be really vulnerable and be honest with yourself and go, oh, there's something wrong with me here. And it was actually my wife that said, you've got to sort this out. And she didn't even give me a choice. She sent me to therapy. And then since then, I've had mentors, coaches, and just being open now and vulnerable. I never used to chat to anyone about anything. I'll chat to a complete stranger now and tell them about anxiety, panic attacks, stuff like that. That's the old cliche talk, but please do.
Chris?
So I've got a question for you, Lexi. On that day that you ring-fenced, which is a fantastic example of me time, by the way, would you say that your number, your 1 to 11, is higher the morning that you come in after that day off, where you've recharged? Do you feel more productive on that day than, say, the day before?
Really, honestly? Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes and no. Because everyone gets the feeling whether it's a day off, a weekend off, or they go on holiday for a week, where they know there are still things in the background. And then when you come in the morning and there are more things to deal with, it does add on a layer of stress. But then I have to sit down with my cup of coffee and think, I'm a person. I can only do one thing at once if I'm going to do a good job. And I have been known to be writing an email whilst on speakerphone, trying to draw up a bloody Canva social media campaign all at the same time. And you will lose a lot of productivity by forcing things in. So yes, I will be more productive, but there is stress added too.
But I suppose this is where your example of the things that you put in place to manage those really comes into its own.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. And I think below your pay grades, try and kind of pass on very quickly. Annie, coming over to yourself now about your life. I know you went on an amazing holiday to the Maldives because of eXp. Can you explain a bit about, were you switching off then? Were you still online? And also how the business has impacted your partner as well?
Yeah, I mean, the last few years have been difficult, but worth it in the long run because, he worries, obviously, but he's very proud of what I've built. And I feel more positive about the way things are going to look moving forward now that I have staff and team members. So it's only looking up from here. But there's been times where it's been, he's said, you can't go on like this. You're just driving yourself into the ground, really, because it's...
And have you put any when he says that, have you just said, yeah, have you put any changes in? Or
I have now, but for the last few years, I've just been going, yeah.
And out of interest, I think we discussed it when you were away on holiday. Do you tell your clients, what systems do you have in place to see your business continues, or do you not tell them? Like, how do you handle that?
Yeah, I always tell people when I'm going to be away, and it was my honeymoon, so it was different. So I switched off a lot more than normal, but I would do, say, half hour each morning on the laptop, just so I know things are in order, knowing what I need to do. But people were really respectful. If you say I'm on my honeymoon, like, give me a week.
Yeah.
No one's, it's not life or death. I get stressed, it's stressful moving houses, but we're not saving lives, so they can have a week.
And do you have any boundaries in place with your clients to say that I'm only online 8 till 8? Like, do you have any kind of boundaries in place?
Not really at the moment. I have everything I do is on WhatsApp groups with clients, so I will respond to them within reason. But I do find the clients are quite respectful. They might contact me, but say, call me back at a more reasonable time. It depends on like Lexi said about emergencies, it really depends on what the situation is. Some things can wait, but some things you do need to deal with. But now I've got more people to help me deal with those things, which makes it easier.
Amazing. Cool. Yeah, I mean, if my wife was here, she'd probably put people off joining eXp because of my work-life balance. I don't know what that balance means, and no one can give me the answer. I guess we're all at kind of different stages of our business. Personally, through the revenue share group that I'm building, I'm already financially free from the hard work that I'm investing into my group and then collaborating, etc. So I know that I'm setting my family up for life. In 2 years, we're going to be set for life. So, but that also kind of comes with sacrifices as well. Yes, my 2-year-old son, it took me 38 years to afford business class. I'm a frugal northerner. Luckily for eXp, I can now fly business. And I've taken my 2-year-old son, Cape Town, Cabo, Miami. It's going to be hard for him when he's in economy, when he's 2. When he's 2, he can buy his own ticket. But that, I think, I mean, Leo's very vocal in saying, this is just a transitional stage. This is not forever, but I'm choosing. Choosing's a big word. I'm not having to do this. I'm choosing to set up my family life and also trying to help the agents build whatever business and dreams they want to as well. Community. Joe, you've been here right from the start, being agent number 5. How have you seen the eXp community change and grow over the time?
It's mad. It's mad sitting here. I mean, like in the first handful of agents, we had a mini little community then. It was 3 or 4 of us on a WhatsApp, and then it grew to 20,000 agents. But I'd say it's the biggest thing for me, whether you sell 20 houses a year or 395 million houses a year. This community is invaluable. Tap into it. The network, the support group. I'm part of the AAC, and it's just a fantastic bunch of people, and you can lean on them all the time as well. So,
give us some examples about how you lean into the community. Like, what events do you go to? You mentioned the AAC. Do you go on any international conferences? Yeah, give us examples about what you've done to lean into it.
I looked at you guys going to all those places for 4 or 5 years, and Adam always say, "You coming to this? You coming to that?" No. And then one day, the wife said I could go to Miami, and I was booking that afternoon, and that was absolutely amazing. I genuinely came back from something like that and put things into practice and change things. And I came back from there, and I went on a agent attraction kind of.
Nice.
And that's gone up by 10, 12 agents since coming back from there. So
Amazing.
That's one of the things I'd say about, we're talking about building resilience. You can build resilience mentally, but build resilience for your business by doing other things. You know, the other agent attraction, mortgages, surveys, solicitors, try and get more income from, so you can take the pressure off sales. That's building resilience.
Yeah.
as
I
well.
mean, in my first year, Jonathan Woods said, "Do you want to go to the eXp Christmas party?" I was like, "No, I can't afford it. What is eXp?" The second year, I went to eXp Lisbon, the first ever international conference, a very intimate 250 people. That was amazing. You meet the leaders, you meet the founders, you meet amazing people, you get inspired. As Joe said, you learn, you kind of pick up golden nuggets. But you also then make genuine friends. I now have international friends, international connections. I have amazing memories here from the UK guys whenever we go away. That for me is so valuable. That's an awesome community that I can reach out to any time. Hey mate, I'm struggling, or business development stuff. So really please lean in to the eXp conferences, the local meetups, the international conferences. Yes, it's a cost, but it's a return on your investment. Please think of it that way as well. Lexi, how have you gone into the eXp community in your local area, the groups? Expand on how you're getting involved into the community.
So I have definitely got a really good little team near where I am, and honestly it's saved me quite a few times. So I know Annie said that she really struggled to completely switch off and not take her laptop away. I've been in those shoes as well, but since I've got a couple of WhatsApp groups, so eXp East Anglia, eXp Cambridgeshire, where new people are added to it all the time. Like, I literally met a guy last night who's added to the group, and I was like, "Oh, you're in our group now." And it's really nice to put faces to our names, but we do genuinely meet up once every few months. We have a lunch together, we share ideas, and we're there for backup. Honestly, if there's a problem property, I've invited other agents to my property for them to film some social media and help push it that way. My clients will love that. They love that I can say, I can financially incentivize another agent to help me sell your house if there's something that's sticking. Viewing cover. It seems really simple, but I am such a stickler. I don't like asking my clients to do viewings because that's my job. I've only just now started giving it up a little bit to Jade, but in terms of having that backup support. I mean, when you can't physically be there, if you have got a holiday booked, then having other agents that are in your local area step in and say, I can do that thing for you, I can pick up there, has been absolutely phenomenal. And my clients have been a lot more understanding of me taking a break from having that there. So
Amazing.
it's so
And
worth doing.
Annie, are you involved in any eXp communities? Like, what do you do to try and do you lean in? The beauty about this is that it's entirely your business. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it, but you can do if you want to. Are you involved in any eXp communities? Are you? If not, that's fine. Or are you going to be trying to get into stuff to help your eXp community and leaning into stuff?
Yes and no. I don't really push that side of things too heavily. I do communicate with my local agents. There's probably about 15 of us now, quite a lot. Most days there'll be messages flying backwards and forwards. I don't really focus too much on any other organisations outside of just running my business day to day. But that said, I am part of Agents Boardroom, and I went to an Agents Board walk. That was also, that leads into mental fitness really well. So many agents in here I know have gone to these boardwalk events where it's just about getting out into fresh air, going for a walk, having conversations, but it doesn't have to be in a stuffy little library room where you're just talking about boring stuff. It's about real life, real people. And sometimes it might be asking their opinion on this social media campaign. Have I done this right? Sometimes it's just, I'm having a really bad time. And they go, oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, God, it really isn't just me. And even that can be so powerful.
And even though there are different groups now emerging in eXp, which is amazing, obviously those groups are open. So it's normally a very open invitation. So don't feel that you have to be in that group to go to it. Our events are open to all. So we're all like kind of collaborating. A lady called Lydia Harrison, I don't know if she's here, I think she's recently joined. She came to our org event, like good on it. Like she's going to all of these different groups. She's going out there, she's networking, she's leaning in. I assure you, the more you can, it's like anything, the more you put into it, the more you kind of get out, you get out of it as well. Annie, same question to yourself about the community. How are you getting involved if you're choosing to? What are you doing with regards to community activity?
So my sponsor, Chris Abraham, I'm not sure if he's here, these lights are so bright, I can't actually see anybody. We've got a great WhatsApp group in South Wales. Everyone's really supportive and we do lean on each other. I have had other independent agents, not even in my downline or my related to me at all, do viewings. And I've done the same for them. It's sharing the load really and just leaning on other people because there are plenty of people out there that can help.
Awesome. 2 minutes left. So I guess I challenge all of you guys to go away. Just one thing. What thing are you going to put in your business that will give you more resilience? So what one thing can you implement into your business to help you build resilience? So that question is to all of you guys. So Joe, so what one thing are you going to put into your business or your life that will help you build resilience?
One thing, I've got to sign up to Nextpad. There you go. I think that's a bit of a no-brainer. Just talking about building those extra revenue streams again, making sure there's something there that can reoccur for a while. At the moment, he's not here, so I can say it. At the moment, I have a mortgage broker who's actually a mate, but I don't do much with him. It's just a bit of a back-scratching idea, but I think I want to get some income coming in from something like that. So
amazing. Same question to yourself, Chris?
I'm going to take some of my own medicine. I'm new to eXp and I've been going a million miles an hour focusing on numbers, listings, sales, money, the big one. And actually sat here talking about the things that I've spoken about, I realized there's one big thing in that I haven't been monitoring, me. And I'm the engine in that and I need to look after myself to be able to make sure that all those other numbers are going to be positive.
Same question to yourself, Lexi?
I would just say, probably echoing what Joe said, I have picked up revenue share a couple times and put it down a couple times. But this year I really wanted to focus on growing that because that is the plan, the exit plan. That is, I don't want to do this forever. I do love it, but I don't want to be running this fast forever. So that is a plan for me. And also to potentially grow a few more agents around me, to have a little team, and then I can still generate the listing and then give it away.
Amazing. Annie?
For me, it's boundaries. So you will drive yourself into the ground if you don't set boundaries, and you don't have to be available for people 24/7. And yeah, I think that's where I'm at with things. That's a free thing that doesn't cost anything to add to your business.
Amazing. Cool.
For yourself.
Cool. Time up. Panelists, thank you so much for being so honest and open about your views, and well done for what you have achieved so far. If you want to reach out to all of us, we are all very open, so feel free to kind of drop us a DM, Instagram. We're also very open to having an honest conversation to help you and obviously help your business grow as well. So well done. Thanks so much. Well done.